Your next delegation. You have 5 minutes.
My next delegation is on the other Energy from Waste Advisory Committee, which is called the EFW-WMAC. The main difference between the EFWAC, which was mandated by the Minister of the Environment, and the EFW-WMAC, which is a result of two actions. One, the host community agreement required such a committee, and second, the medical officer of health, when he wrote his report in June of 2009 saying there was no unacceptable risk of the incinerator, he said that there should be a committee that looks at waste issues in the region. So that second committee, the EFW-WMAC report, is supposed to advise Works Committee, and through Works Committee supposed to advise Council. There was a selection process that was gone through the way the municipality fills any committee position, advisory committee position. They advertise, they select members. Now, my understanding of an advisory committee is that in order to be able to advise somebody about anything, you should actually know something. You should actually be familiar with the project or project details, or you should be willing to learn, and willing to learn quickly. I have been to all 4 EFW-WMAC meetings to date. At the second meeting, I took the time to make a delegation to them, not to bring forward concerns because I knew they wouldn't really know what I'm talking about, but to suggest that they develop a work plan so that there would be some focus to their activities, and also a member education plan so that they could get themselves up to speed on a very complex project. So I did that this past March. To date, there is no evidence of a work plan being developed. At the last meeting, members said that they sort of felt that the public didn't really know where they were there, and they want to encourage public participation. But before you go out and call the public to say, tell us what your problems are, first you need a plan on how to get yourselves up to speed, and then you have to provide some evidence that you're actually reviewing some of the documents that you should be. And so there's an agenda. Actually, as it happens, Wendy and I are going to be at that committee meeting tonight making similar delegations, and there's an agenda. And I was curious, of all the plans that is not on their agenda to review is the air emissions monitoring plan. That is one of the plans that is of most interest to the public. The air pollution from this incinerator has been a repeated community concern. So there's a lot of items that they're just not aware of because they're not fully aware of the project details, and they're not intimately familiar with the way the committee council process operates. So I think it's imperative that council impress upon them that they need to develop a work plan, that they need to develop a plan to review these monitoring plans in a timely manner and provide the input to the project team as well as to Works Committee. The project team is sitting at that meeting, so they're going to hear what this committee has to say, and so that they get into the work of what they're supposed to do sooner rather than later, because we're halfway through the term. So that is really what I am asking you to do, is to ensure they develop a work plan. They were supposed to report, the chair of that committee was supposed to report to Works in some kind of update, but as far as I know, that has not happened. And related to this, I read in the October 17th Works minutes that Councillor Perkins wanted to know what the two committees were up to, and that at some point an information report will be brought forward by staff as to what these two committees are doing. So I don't know when that information report will come forward, but I think it's really important that council either nudge this committee into some kind of action or direct them if that turns out to be necessary. Thank you.
Questions? Councillor Rodrigues.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And by the way, it's Rodrigues with an S, no worries at all.
Okay.
Our mayor had the same difficulty. Rodrigues. Thank you. Councillor Peter Rodrigues. I just actually don't have any direct questions of the delegation, but I would ask if she would be able to provide notes in a kind of concise point form of the points that she did cover in her delegation. Would that be possible, and send it to all of the councillors?
Yeah, I can do that. And actually, these points were covered in my March 2012 delegation, which I provided to the clerks and should be in your agendas. So I'm pretty much repeating what I said then. I've just added a bit more information, but I'll be happy to do that and type it up and send it to you as soon as I do.
It'd be great to have a fresh copy of the point form.
Okay.
Love the information. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor. Anyone else? Being none, thanks very much.